Grandparents died holding hands in a tornado. What these strangers did next is amazing. Love keeps us together, even when everything else falls apart. For most people, death is the one thing that is powerful enough to separate them from their loved ones. But for the lucky ones, life can be shared together until the very end. The wedding vow till death do us part warns a pair in love that they will one day be left without each other. Like straight out of a romance novel, the story of this elderly couple that faced death hand in hand is a tale about the power of love. What the grandparents left behind for their family is even more powerful. Billy and Judy Miller, a couple in their early 70s from Bremen, Kentucky, shared a love for a beautiful 50 years. Billy was a war veteran, and his love for Judy bloomed when he served in the Vietnam War. Due to his sacrifice of serving the country, the romance of the marriage was not ideal. The couple spent decades together creating a family and spending time being great parents and grandparents, even when grieving the loss of 2 of their children. Throughout time, Judy's dream of a grand wedding remained with her. On their 50th wedding anniversary, the couple celebrated by renewing their vows at a real big wedding ceremony accompanied by their grandchildren. Judy had finally gotten the wedding she had always dreamed of. When he went off to Vietnam, they got married, but it wasn't the wedding she wanted, said their grandchild Serenity. They went and she got the wedding that she wanted with all of us grandchildren. That was everything to them. In December of 2021, many lives were ended tragically by the tornado that struck Muhlenberg County. Of at least 77 deaths in the state, from toddlers to those reaching 100 years old, the Millers became the face of the tragedy that this natural disaster caused for many people and their families. The committed husband and wife's bodies were found at their torn-down house, still holding each other in the aftermath of the storm. The heart-shattering image of the soulmates intertwined at the scene reminds us that love and family are the reason for strength and perseverance. Many of the beloved grandchildren of the Kentucky victims tried to contact the Millers before receiving the news about their passing. Haley Burton, their 25-year-old granddaughter, spoke to them at the beginning of the tornado warning, where Judy warned, "The wind's blowing a little bit." The grandchildren held on to the belief that their grandparents would have found a safe place to wait for the tornado to run its course. They remained optimistic while following the news of the farms and homes that were being destroyed. But when they never received a call to confirm their safety, grandchild Serenity stated, "We found them. They had passed away together, holding on to each other." Just when the Miller family believed they'd lost all evidence of their grandparents in the storm, the universe guided them to take back some of the love. 8 guardian angels disguised as strangers helped recover photos of the couple that were stolen by the terrifying winds. From across 2 states, photos resurfaced. One person found a photo at the park she called her healing place, where she mourned the death of her husband. Hearing about the death of the elders in the photo, she was able to connect with the grandchildren. "I hated the universe and loved the universe with such intensity. I just loved that we could get something back to these families." The family was touched by the extent strangers would take to help relieve the mourning and grieving following this incident. Haley explained, "It gives me a lot of hope. With all the bad we have going on in the world, there are still great people out there that want these families to have these memories." The belongings of the Millers that were later found around their home allowed the family members to hold on to the memory of their grandparents. A locket, a baby quilt, and a toy collection that were recovered helped the healing process of the family. The most touching recovered item was the marine jacket that belonged to Billy from his time at war. When a cleaner offered to polish the jacket free of charge for the family, the strength of kindness melted their hearts. It is no secret in life that death is promised, but we can never be prepared for the loss of a loved one. Whether it is a friend, a significant other, or a grandparent, when someone close to us dies, it can feel like the end of the world. Thankfully, love is stronger than loss. With the support of family, friends, and even strangers, periods of grief can be overcome. Like the photos and belongings sent to the Miller family following the natural disaster that killed their grandparents, the universe always sends us everything we need to heal. Despite having been together for 50 years, Serenity said that their connection was as strong as ever. Not even the loss of a child could tear them apart. They grew really deep bonds after the loss of 2 of their children, and that bond, I don't think anyone could break, added Serenity.